Hey guys, what's up? Jonathan Scott here, h.i.i.t.com, and I am with our medical advisor, Dr. Joe. And today we're going to talk about kind of the difference between weight loss, fat loss, what type of information you really should be focusing on when you're looking to reach your weight loss goals. So let Dr. Joe kind of introduce himself and let you know what he's all about.
Oh, first of all, Johnny, thank you for having me here, and I look forward to talking about this topic over which there's a lot of confusion at times. But my background is I'm board certified in internal medicine and sports medicine, and my practice, I have an emphasis on hormone replacement. So I kind of think of that as middle-aged sports medicine.
Okay, all right, cool. So kind of on the topic of weight loss, I see some things about fat loss, and a lot of people are confused about what they really should be focusing on and really what type of mindset they should be having. So can you kind of speak on the difference?
Well, I think we all know that when we talk about we want to lose weight, I think we're implying that we all want to lose fat. But the question is, do you know if you're losing fat for sure? So when we talk about weight loss, we're really talking about fat loss. As much as possible, you want to maintain your lean muscle mass or your lean body mass, and in fact, try to put some of that on if you can. To really know if you are hitting just losing fat, you should really have a body composition done to see if you're being successful.
Okay, yeah. Right, exactly. That's what a lot of things that I read about and talk to individuals about. So going along with the kind of focusing on fat loss, like what would you, is there any type of nutrition or dieting type of habits that you would kind of focus on or recommend?
Yeah, the main thing I tell my patients is I emphasize a low glycemic nutrition plan. I prefer to call it a nutrition plan than a diet, as a diet is something that we kind of think could go on and off, but really you need to be eating healthy all the time. So I prefer to call it a nutrition plan, and we emphasize low glycemic carbs. Sometimes we talk about good carbs and bad carbs. The low glycemic carbs are the healthier ones, and what that means is when you eat a carbohydrate, there's an elevation in your blood sugar, which then triggers the release of insulin, which drives the blood sugar into the cell. And high glycemic carbs, which would be a lot of your snacks and your candy bars and that type, and your sports drinks, they cause a rapid rise in blood sugar, which is followed by a rapid rise in insulin. And insulin is a fattening hormone. You cannot lose weight if you have your insulin level too high. So even if you're burning calories when you're working out, you don't have that ability to tap into your fat stores for calories.
Right, okay.
And there's actually an interesting book out there by Gary Taubes, and that's Taubes. He wrote a book called Good Calories, Bad Calories. And then he wrote another book, which is a little bit easier to read, called Why We Get Fat.
Okay.
And he talks about we don't get fat because we overeat. We overeat because we get fat. And that seems kind of odd, but what he's implying is when you eat high glycemic foods, even though you got all this energy, they're stored in your fat, and because your insulin level's high, you can't get to those fat stores for your calories. So in order to fuel your body, you have to constantly eat.
Okay, right.
So you're always hungry.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of the mindset that we don't normally hear, and those are the type of insight things that, I'd like to make sure that we get out, to the general public and give out that information.
Yeah, so we probably mainly recommend a low glycemic diet, making sure you get enough protein and enough, generally speaking, that would be like a gram per kilogram per body weight per day, or roughly 25 grams of protein per meal, and maybe 10 to 20 with a snack. And then, you still need fat. Fat is not unhealthy. You need good fats. That would be stuff more like olive oil and your monounsaturated fats.
Okay, gotcha. Great information. So when we're going through the process and, we're starting to change our mindset to, I got to lose fat and kind of focus on some of the low glycemic, kind of the index charts and index foods, what type of exercise should I be incorporating on top of that?
Well, first of all, any exercise is better than doing nothing. Right. So any exercise that can help you become more insulin sensitive. But I think most people will be better off doing more resistance training or strength training, and also incorporate some high intensity interval training into the exercise program. Now, you have to make sure you don't have any underlying heart disease.
Right.
Now, high intensity interval training is really basically doing sprints, after a warm up. And you can do it on a bike or a treadmill, elliptical trainer, or just out running on the street. But you just do maybe 6 to 10 sprints. It can be 20 seconds long, 30 seconds long, but recover enough that your next sprint you can give a full out effort.
Right.
You do that about 6 to 10 times.
Okay.
And what that does is that actually provokes or stimulates a hormonal response in your body. And when you exercise, you want to kind of think about, you really want to think of what can I do to stimulate my hormones. And the main hormones you want to stimulate with your exercise program are going to be growth hormone and testosterone.
Okay.
So if you do the high intensity interval training where you get into your anaerobic zone, then you are going to do that. And same thing with resistance training, where you're lifting weight, either enough volume that you're really feeling that your muscles aching and burning.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So, do hormones play a role in your weight loss?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So first, let me just backtrack a little bit. When you do the high intensity interval training, you will burn after you stop the exercise. You will continue to burn calories. Some studies 24 hours. Even some studies show 40 hours.
Okay.
I think that's going to be in more your high school and college age person.
Is there a type of let me see what I'm trying to say here. Is there because I know a lot of when I talk about high intensity interval training, or some people call it tabata style, whatever your word is it for. Some people think that if they have bad knees or bad joints that they can't participate that, and I'm actually glad that you mentioned like an exercise bike or an elliptical, because those are things that you can do that type of style exercise on.
Yeah, really, there shouldn't be too many orthopedic problems that would limit you totally from doing the high intensity interval training.
Okay.
I mean, you can change it from one you can just do jumping jacks.
Right, that's true.
And the nice thing about the tabata concept is you can do it in a hotel room. So if you're traveling, you can get a pretty good workout in 4 minutes without leaving your hotel room.
Right. Yeah. Which is the best thing. You can pretty much do it anywhere. That's what I after doing research and finding out about high intensity interval training, that was the draw for me. Is you don't necessarily need a gym membership. It helps with strength training to build more muscle, which in turn helps you with fat loss. But if you're on the road traveling, don't have access to a gym, you can still get your workout in. It doesn't have to be a long strenuous workout. You can get a lot.
Yeah, I had a patient the other day who's he's going to school and he's working full time. He's going to law school, I think, and has been exercising. And then I said, I think this Tabata concept is great for someone like him.
Oh, okay.
And so he was kind of resistant to exercise. Well, I just don't have time. I said, well, do you have 4 minutes? Well, yeah, I got 4 minutes. So I think he's going to at least give it a go.
Give it a try. Yeah. That's definitely an advantage to it, and to play off of that. So, would you recommend? Because I know you're involved with the hormone replacement with your practice. Does that have an effect on fat loss?
Oh yeah. So it's kind of interesting. You get to about age 40, both men and women, all of a sudden we get all these diseases. High blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity, and it's just at that same time we also see a critical drop in hormones in both men and women.
Okay.
So you have estrogen and testosterone are real important. We think of estrogen as the female hormone, testosterone as the male hormone, but both sexes make both. And in our fat cells, we have an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. And that enzyme, its job is to pull calories into fat. Okay. But testosterone and estrogen will put the brakes on it and shut it off. So when you hit middle age and you start putting weight on, it's because your sex hormone levels are dropping, so you don't have that brake on that enzyme anymore. Okay. And so you're pulling in more and more calories. And interesting, guys tend to carry more of that lipoprotein lipase in their belly fat, and women carry it in their hips. So that kind of explains why guys get the belly and women get wider in the hips with aging. So those are two hormones that are real important. The other hormone that tends to drop is thyroid. And thyroid hormone, I think most people realize, sets your metabolism. But basically, it makes everything in your body work faster. It makes your brain work faster. It makes your GI tract work faster. Your blood flow is better. So that's something that ought to be checked as well.
Okay. All right. Great. That is great information. Especially, kind of shifting your mindset and really understanding what's going on with your body when it comes to losing weight. Because a lot of people will get stuck, maybe hit a plateau, and not really sure what they should be, switching up to.
We kind of think of weight loss as a calorie in, calorie out thing, and to some degree it's true, but if you really do the math on all that, if that were the case, everybody would be thin.
Right.
Exactly. Everybody has tried to limit their calories. But it's really, weight maintenance, I would say, is more hormonally driven than calorie driven.
Right.
Well, your hormones dictate how you use those calories
and
where you store them.
Would you, kind of circling back to nutrition or anything, would you, because I know a lot of fitness people, count macros for, doing their nutrition. I know that's sort of counting calories, but you're kind of breaking it down a little bit further as far as doing that. I guess it's kind of based on your goals, what type of, percentage of body fat you're looking to achieve. Macros counting will probably benefit you a little bit more. Versus...
I think you need to keep a track, some idea of how many calories you're getting, how many calories you're getting from carbs and proteins and fat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on counting things because it's just too hard.
It's a tool, yeah.
I think we just have to develop an appreciation when you look at a plate of food. Okay, this is healthy. This is a healthy portion.
Right.
So exactly. I think maybe that concept maybe is a little bit easier for most people. Now, I know the bodybuilders, they're very good at that, but that's pretty much their whole day, and their livelihood is doing that. The average person just doesn't have time to keep track, even with all these apps on the phone and everything.
Right, because what I found talking to people, and just like you said, when I was losing weight, and I'm still losing weight, when I lost my 65 pounds, I didn't focus on losing or counting calories. I focused on what am I eating, is it healthy, have I worked out today, how do I feel. I paid attention to all those different things within kind of my ecosystem, and that, I think, is what helped me keep the longevity, keep it going. I didn't feel like I was bogged down by counting everything.
Yeah. Well, one problem with counting calories, I have this article on the Live Long, Stay Young website. I can't remember the name of the article, though. I talked about, we're not even sure if there's 3,500 calories in a pound.
Mm-hmm.
It might be 31, might be 3,700.
Right.
3,100 or 3,700. So if you don't even know what it is if you don't even have an accurate idea of what you're counting, how can you really do it?
Exactly, yeah. Because I see that, and some people say it's a myth, some people, say it's not. So, I'm glad you touched on that point, because some people say, oh, you have to, burn off 3,500 calories to lose a pound. Right. Is that really true? And I think you just answered that. So. And
the other concept, too, is you do want to fluctuate your calories a little bit, because if you're, let's say there's 3,500 calories in a pound, your goal is to lose a pound a week, then you have to create a 500 calorie deficit each day. Well, if you're doing that day by day by day, at some point your body says, I'm being starved here.
Mm-hmm.
and it will just naturally slow the metabolism down. So now you got to reduce your calorie intake by 700 or 800 calories, and then it reduces it lower.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you just can't reduce it enough, because you have to have a certain amount of calories to get the nutrients that your body needs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So some people talk about a stepwise or ladder approach, where for the week you create that 3,500 calorie deficit, but maybe some days you eat 500 calories more than you burned, and you just kind of keep it going up and down.
Yeah, keep yourself guessing.
And it keeps your body honest. And that's kind of how our people talk about the paleo diet, but you look at our ancestors, they might kill an animal, pig out for 2 or 3 days, and then they might go 2 or 3 days not eating a whole lot.
Right, that's very
true. So their calories were naturally fluctuating.
Okay, right.
We kind of have this constant access to food.
A little too much, right?
Right, it's probably not good for us.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, great. That was great information. Okay. I appreciate you joining me to give out some more information. If you guys like that information, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You follow us on social media. That's at J530 Lifestyle. And look us up on the website, j530.com. Dr. Joe will be there. We're going to link out to his personal website and make sure you guys get all the tips and information. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.